the WWE United States Championship. LA Knight, yeah, versus Shinsuke Nakamura. All right, let me say right off the bat, and I know I might get flack for this because I know a lot of WWE fans currently, especially if you've grown up in my era of like the 90s or even before the 80s of WWE music. We've heard some absolute bangers from Jim Johnson, Def Rebel, and other artists that have been licensed by WWE or even commissioned. Yeah, Def Rebel definitely has not knocked it out of the park. I think they absolutely do have some bangers, but consistently their bangers are like far and few in between. This theme song that they've remixed for Shinsuke Nakamura, fantastic. I was always actually a bigger fan of the lyrical version of Nakamura's theme when he went heel. And the babyface theme obviously is cool. You know, dun, 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 dun. You know, that was cool. This right here, it's like they gave the babyface theme a more sinister vibe, and I love the presentation. I think the whole presentation of Nakamura under Triple H's booking has been fantastic. I love the anime influence promo. Even this cool artwork promo, which reminded me, once again, being an anime, I think one of the coolest looking like artworks where it just looked like very eerie and spooky was from Dragon Ball Z. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, Dragon Ball Z Movie 1, Give Me Back My Gohan, which was dubbed as under the title Dead Zone here in America. And there's a really cool scene in that where the villain character Godlick Jr.'s father, I think it is his father, he's like this demon king and everything, and they have all these demons coming out, and it's like everybody's in this black silhouette, and it just looks really super eerie. That's what these promos of Nakamura reminds me of, and I think it's fantastic. The only problem, while the presentation has been good, very much so, like in Vince McMahon's booking Triple H hasn't given Nakamura, I would say, a lot of big wins. It felt more like, okay, build Nakamura up to be a challenger and a quick, and it's not like a several month build where he's given a huge push. It's like, okay, let's bring him on TV in about 3 months, and about 3 weeks or a month, and build him up and try to make him a big deal, and then after that we'll just have him lose. And it's like, you know, you can have tremendous presentation, and I think this is one of the problems that we had with the late great Bray Wyatt, and particularly before the Fiend. You would have him talk a big game because you know, Bray Wyatt, tremendous promo, but he kept losing. He kept getting booked to lose over and over, and it's like, no matter how good of a game you can talk, if you can't walk the walk into a victory, it's like, you know, it's hard, I think, for fans to get invested in wanting to take that character serious. And I think this is the problem with the Nakamura. Now, when I went into this match, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, they've given such a great new presentation to Nakamura, but you're just going to go in there and probably lose to LA Knight. But the story of this match was that LA Knight had a hard time with Nakamura. Everything that LA Knight kept throwing at Nakamura basically kept just coming back even stronger. He had an answer to almost everything that LA Knight was throwing at him. So I'm like, oh wow, they're really building up Nakamura as something strong here for eventually when LA Knight hits the the blunt force trauma and gets the pinfall. And so surprisingly, at the end of this match, Nakamura hits LA Knight with the Kinshasa, if I said that right, hopefully I pronounced it right, in the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I got out my seats like, what? They actually did it? They actually had Nakamura win the U.S. title? Like, I didn't even think we were going to get a win, but we did. And I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, I'm a little mixed, bittersweet, because I felt we could have done a little bit more. Well, I felt the WWE could have done a little bit more with LA Knight's U.S. title win. There was so much happiness for when he finally won it. Give him some bigger matches, and he had some fantastic matches. But I felt like they could have been doing a lot more presentation-wise in terms of stories and everything. But yeah, Nakamura, you did the right thing. Like, this is how you get people more invested into the Nakamura character, by giving Shinsuke these big wins. So he's got new presentation, he's got the US title, And it makes you wonder, is this a legit push? Are we serious now? Are we done with Shinsuke Nakamura being built up in a quick period of time after spending lots of time off of TV? And basically now he's going to be on TV. He's going to be presented as a big deal. And I don't know if they'll give him to the world title picture. It'd be nice to see, but I'm always willing to see where this goes. I think LA Knight will be fine. LA Knight will definitely be fine because he is still very much that over. Maybe they're preparing to try and get him into the main event scene. Who knows? We'll see where that comes from. But yeah, shocking, but at the same time pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I mean, didn't see it coming, but it's cool, and hopefully it means good things for Nakamura.